Yo, this is your boy Guy Miguel, and this is Common Conversations. This is a podcast where we talk about everything under the sun, from business, politics, marriage, life, and the pursuit of whatever. And no topic is left off the table. We come together to cry, laugh, agree, and disagree. Let's go. So we got a podcast. Yeah, buddy. So, you know, I got to record everywhere. We're not recording on the camera, but we're recording here, and then we recording on the Rode Podcaster. Yep. And then we're using the ATM Mini Pro. I think I'm going to do a video this week of all the little tools and gadgets that we've been using for the last couple of weeks, so y'all can tap in. But point is, so I got some really dope giveaways. Why? Because it's holiday, it's Christmas, and I like to give stuff away. And so I thought we would do the damn thing. Oops, sorry. Skip.
There you go.
I slipped it in. So my bad.
It's all good.
Jump in and yell at me anytime you want. So I got some cool. So if you in the Jeffersonville, Clark County, Floyd County area, my man Poppin' Flavors over there gave me some gift cards, and y'all know the rules. So we're trying to build the YouTube channel. And so if you go to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, you know, the 25th person, right, gets a gift card. The 50th person is going to get a gift card. And then the 100th person. Yeah, we get that out of my mouth, is going to get a gift card, right? And so free popcorn on us for the holidays. Let's go. And then I got a couple of really cool, dope books. So I got a series of books I'm going to be giving away. So my homegirl, if you don't know her, Brittany Johnson, LMHC, right? Super brainiac, super smart, all about that mental health. And this is a whole project for 2021, right? Because I know everybody's going to be like, yo, I got to do it different. We got to put 2020 behind us because it's been crazy, nuts, yet whatever. So she's got a book called 21 Days to Stop Self-Sabotage. So this is one of my Christmas gifts to somebody too. So I got some giveaways. So y'all gonna have to tune in so that you figure out how to get them.
Call your people.
There it is. Call your people. Call Norm.
Don't.
Yeah. Call Norm. And then he's gonna make sure you get the giveaway. He's gonna be saying no all night, y'all. Y'all have no idea, right? I got these other joints. I got my mom's 3 books, right? So Speaking of Faith, Remarkable Women of Faith, and Success is a State of Mind. If y'all don't know that success is a state of mind, you need to get your mind right. Because success is all about what you think and how you think. And trust me, if you think it, speak it, act it, it will come to truth. So I got 3 giveaways right there. Oh, people sending me some things. So I'm telling you now, if you got a retail store, you got an online store, you want some giveaways, some great promos, I'm going to be running my mouth for the remaining of the year. We're going live every Wednesday. We're going to be publishing it. And then we got some giveaways. So, yo. This is like Coke weed right now, right? Yeah, look, the camera can't even focus when I say bad things. See what Norm just like comes in here and just changes everything. The camera won't even act right. But real talk, on our Gellys.com, if you go to Gellys, GUELLYS.com, and I'll throw it up on there. We're liquidating all our PPE because people keep getting sick, man. And we want y'all to be well. Yeah, they came from China, but so does everything else.
The cake's not for giveaway.
Nah, the cake is for my face. Let's eat it. Let's go in.
I've already had mine.
You already had yours. So, you know, his beautiful wife, most intelligent, brilliant wife, is also a heck of a cook.
Yes.
And can get down with the get down. So, you know, anytime you bring the fat boy goodies, I'm going to tap in. I'm just saying. So, you know, love hers. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, man.
What, brother?
Welcome to the table.
Yeah.
Oh, I broke it already? You did. We need to get you a new glass. Yeah, I can throw a commercial on and get you a new glass real quick. They going to be all right. All right, so check it out. Okay. I got my man at the table.
Good evening, everybody.
Is there anything I can't do?
No, man, be you.
You set the ground rules.
You be you.
So
I already told you, I know how you are. So I mean, why would I want you to change just because I walked into the room?
Look, y'all got to know this is you know, this is mentor, you know, daddy away from home. This is, you know, minister, you know, this is captain. Like, you know, there ain't a whole lot of people that step into the room and I stop cussing for. And I won't have, you know, I have very little innuendos. But I know he watches the show. So for him to sit here means something.
It took a while. It took a while. I had to build up my nerves because I know you, man. I'm like, okay, do I really want to tackle that? If Miguel goes there, yeah, I'm gonna have to.
All right,
because that's who we are, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, and so y'all know, if you watch the show, if you listen to the show, it's completely unscripted. Whatever I pull out my hat, we pull out the hat. We had that conversation, right? Because common conversations about what? Political life, things that we experience as black men. Because I'm not white and I ain't a woman.
Well,
so that's how we do it. But we do invite white women and black women and white men onto the show so that they can share their perspective as well.
Right.
But then again, sometimes we don't, and I had to, and that's a Cobra Commander moment. I'm clowning today. Y'all know I am. That's the lie moment, right? Because I do what I want, when I want, how I want to. I ain't lying. I just ain't telling you the whole truth.
All right. Here we go.
There we go. What we going to talk about today, man? You want to play the game with me?
Whatever, brother.
All right. So every so often, y'all know, we pull out these cool little fun cards, and they're kind of get to know you cards. They're completely random. As you saw me just pull them out the box, right? This is actually the ladies' game. So it's weird. Like, it might be a card in there. The first time you got pregnant, how did you feel, right? So if we pull that one, we might just throw that across the room.
No. We could talk about that.
We could talk about that.
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a story about that one.
we might just make that part of the conversation. So, all right, check it out. I'm gonna give you a couple of cards as we do this conversation today. You can randomly pull a card and just ask me a question. That's how we gonna do this.
Okay.
While we sitting here, we usually sit and hang out for about an hour, and then whatever. So
to let you guys know, Miguel's been trying to get me over here for a few months now. All right. And I've not turned him down. It just wasn't available. And he kept saying, well, Doc, whenever you're available, just show up. Just show up. So I'm on vacation this week. And he it's funny. He called me this evening when I was thinking about him, and I said, dude, you're going to live a long time. He said, that's good. You're going to live a long time, because, when you think about somebody and they call you, that's my mom always said, well, they're going to live a long time because you were thinking about them when they called.
Tell them what I said. I said I wanted to be the oldest man
on earth when I die.
Absolutely. I need them to be like, yo, Miguel Hampton, 200 years old, the oldest man on earth, just passed away. He is no longer a pain in art.
That's like Stevie Wonder's going up to Saturn, going back to Saturn.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, people live 205.
Yeah. So what we gonna chop? How are we talking about today, man? What can we? Where you want to go first?
Anywhere you want to, Miguel.
All right.
Yeah.
Election.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Okay. Is it on me?
It's on you.
So I have this issue. I have this issue. For the most part, I'll tell you. I'm disappointed in many people in the Republican Party, simply because they don't keep their word. They weren't keeping their word. And the one thing is I have, oh man, don't get me started.
Now let's get started. Get started. Let's go.
All right. So it's almost like when I see some of them in the Republican Party, and it's not all, obviously, but it's like, if the game isn't going the way they want to, they're going to take their ball and go home. You've had people like that when you're playing basketball and they start losing. Yeah. And while they're losing, they can't stand to lose, like they're losing, to being humiliated. So they want to take the basketball and go home. So
true story.
I have an issue. I have an issue with 45. and it's simply because when you think about, this election, by the way, it was incredible how black folk turned out and voted.
Yes.
Now,
kind of like Obama was around again.
Come on now.
Let's go.
Right? Let's do this. Right?
Yeah. But we got some ownership for once.
Yes. But here's what, 77 million people.
Yes.
Right? But what bothered me was 72 million. That's what bothered me. I don't understand how, and I'm going to talk about the evangelicals, can accept.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I can accept the immorality of this guy. I had one guy tell me, excuse me. He said, look at the data. I said, what do you mean look at the data? I said, the data is from what the brilliant mind of President Barack Obama did, and 45 is getting the credit for. I said, he ain't done nothing. And it's just me. Okay, you're gonna let me talk, aren't you?
I'm gonna let you talk. Let's go.
He had done that. I said, I don't understand. I said, but here's the thing now. When Barack Obama was in office, they tried to find every piece of dirt that they could on him and couldn't. And everything they even brought up, he said, it's in the book, read it.
Yeah.
I put it in the book.
Yeah.
It's all transparency.
Let's go.
Here's a man who loves his wife, who two wonderful children, love his children, who has tried to live above board. I'll say it like that.
I mean, 45 loves his children too, though. He so much he wanted to sleep with his daughter. That's a different kind of love.
Hello.
But all right, go ahead.
Boom. Right? So, but you know, I almost hope my family's not watching this because they don't see me acting crazy. Sometimes
it's my energy, man. It's my energy. But go on, finish.
It's mutual. But then here's a guy who has had 3 different wives.
Yeah.
Slept around
Yeah.
on all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that they're okay with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, white men get a different standard. But they've always had. They always have, right? So we know 45 is no different than a lot of his predecessors. He just did it out. He's just doing it out loud.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He ain't the first.
No.
And he ain't gonna be the last. Right. I mean, come on now. David Duke is still. I mean, he's still floating around. Right. We knew he was a KKK member. Right.
Right.
You know, Trump just came from him. I'm just saying. Let's call it like it is. White supremacy in the White House.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like.
It looks like, but that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, come on now. We know who Pence was. I mean, he calls his wife mother, and passed all kind of crazy laws, in Indiana. Like, so we knew Indiana. If you looked at Indiana absolutely is reflective of the 2 yahoos that we hope leave in January, because right now they look like they trying to commit some kind of treason, some kind of hostile takeover. Like this is one of his companies.
They've already had 30 of their suits that they file thrown out.
Just wasting money.
Wasting
taxpayers' money.
Was it Wisconsin? I think Wisconsin said we'll do a recount for $7.9 million, and you got to pay it up front. I think Wisconsin or Montana, somewhere out there. One of them. Anybody know who that was?
I don't know. We got to look that one up. But you know what, y'all smart out there because you know the rule. Smart. We say what we want, and y'all figure.
And y'all can fact. What is it? Fact check us and then send us the information.
Yeah, there it is. Let's go. Fact check us and then send us the info.
That's my cousin, man. It's a Carolyn Thigpen.
There it is. What's going on, cuz?
Hey, cuz.
We hope everybody's doing all right out there. So if you're listening to the podcast later, know that we are actually streaming. And this podcast comes from our live stream. And so we get friends and family out there in the world that come and sit down and wild out with us. All right. So next topic. Matter of fact, we just going to jump in here. I'm going to grab a card. Look, we're going to keep talking politics. If y'all got questions out there that are watching, Norm said he'll answer anything you want within reason. And if he don't answer it, you know I will. So, all right, let's go. My question is, y'all know we play Table Topics. This is Table Topics Girls Night Out. And so since we're trying to learn our wives better because Christmas is coming, we figured we play the ladies game.
I've been married 32 years.
See, he already know it. He said it's done. We're going to get Miss Lou in here. Let's go. Lou and Tia, let them have it out. Let the ladies do it. Yeah. All right, so what do you enjoy eating when you're alone? Oh, let's go.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy because I don't get a chance to eat it that often because Lou makes me eat very, very healthily. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Really? That's your hidden food?
That's my hidden food, man.
All right, Kellogg's.
With a banana in it.
With a banana.
And every now and then I'll put some blueberries. I know that's kind of boring, but that's just who it is.
We're going to run with it. So Kellogg Frosted Flakes, if you out there, you ever listen to the podcast, you hear it, send me a couple boxes so I can get it to Cap.
Come on now.
He'll appreciate that.
We'll give them away. My Cynthia, hey, Cynthia. My sister said, hey, Junior.
What it do? Listen, we're going to just throw her up on the screen. Yeah. So, okay, real quick, because I really didn't introduce who you are. I mean, I gave like a snippet. Like, I didn't tell everybody, like, you like the super pilot of the world, right? Man. You know, served in Air Force, right? Ole Miss, like, play football.
Come on now.
Like, you know, dude is an engineer. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, you know, like, Jesus was a carpenter, right? And Jesus could do anything. You know, that's Norm. I'm not saying he Jesus. I'm just saying he a whole lot like him. Let's go.
I'm working on it.
All right, there it is.
I'm working on it.
You know, if you could ask anybody, any guru in the world, something that you did not know, Norm would be the person. And I'll tell you one thing, like if he doesn't know, and I haven't run into a situation where he has not known, he knows somebody who does know, which means he knows. Well, I'm just saying, it's got to be a beautiful thing to be that.
You know what? God is good.
All right, there it is. Yes, all the time.
I mean, just having the opportunity to create, if you want to say it like that, and nurture relationships, because it's all about relationships. When you build relationships across the world, and literally, it's kind of what we've done.
Yeah.
When you build relationships like that, and you maintain them, don't burn any bridges, you know. But you know, I think one of the things too, Miguel, is that just being brutally honest and transparent,
yes, sir,
is a thing, and I think people appreciate that. Now, I know some folks have gotten angry with me, and that's okay. You're allowed to get angry with me as long as you know that I've given you the truth, you know, from my perspective.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, the truth is real. I mean, here's the thing. You got to be authentic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So many of us in our real lives tell ourselves lies. And then that's when we're like, okay, you know, why can't anything happen? Why won't things work out for me? But if you just be authentic and you tell the truth, right? Your truth is everybody's got to. I learned in college, this dude, and it's the hard way. He was like, there's two truths. We was wilding out and doing some crazy stuff. We all got in trouble and homeboy told on us. Right. And so he was the RA, right. You know, and I respect him to this day. And I remember I was like, man, as long as you tell the truth, we all good. And he said this to me. He said, there's two truths. He said, there's yours and mine. And I said, wow. This is gonna get real interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to some degree he was correct. He didn't completely lie on us. Well, he just omitted some things, and we didn't lie on him. We just omitted some things, but we all told our truth. And I said, wow, this is an interesting thing. I don't like you, but all right, well, let's go. So,
well, you know, and I learned it a little differently.
Yeah.
Right. Because somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
There's your truth, there's my truth, and then right in the middle there's the truth. And it's interesting because you and I would look at something, you and I would look at a picture or building or whatever it is, and in the same light, we see something totally different. You know, so that's your truth, then that's my truth, and here's a picture of what we see.
Communication is a monster, ain't it?
Yeah. Okay, I got one. All
right, let's go.
All right. Oh, this is crazy. All right. Anyway, what wild adventure would you like to take? Yeah,
let's go.
I'm gonna throw that one out.
I told you these are the cards for the ladies. It's gonna be a little different.
Okay, it says with your closest girlfriends.
Oh, real talk. Okay, so I got girlfriends.
He does.
So anybody listening to the show, y'all know the deal. Y'all can ask the wife. I have had girlfriends since the day I was born, and I will not. So they're intimate friends, not sexual friends. So like let's be clear about that.
Right.
But now, what trip? So my homegirl, she just came back from the DR, and I was a little jealous because she ain't take me.
Oh man. So
have
you ever been down there?
No, I haven't,
dude.
See,
I love the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
I really do. I in my travels, I was fortunate enough to just to visit.
Yeah,
and I wasn't there long, maybe a day or so. But the people are just really genuine. Yeah, they're loving. And I told my wife this that the women are sensuous and the men are manly.
There it is.
It's that's
called paradise.
Come on now.
Let's go. Get you in trouble if you ain't strong.
Yeah, will do. That's the truth.
All right, so I got crazy. So if y'all don't know, like Norm is also world traveled. Right? Is that safe to say?
That's safe to say.
Is there a country you haven't been to that you want to go to yet?
I haven't been to Antarctica, and I'm not. No.
All right. What's your favorite place?
Man, this is crazy because it's based on different times in my life.
Okay.
Right. So when I was single, you know, I remember being in Japan, you know, in Okinawa, Japan.
Let's go.
Yeah. I was in Okinawa, Japan, and I didn't even have a girlfriend at that time. And I remember sitting on a concrete stump looking down the street in Okinawa, Japan. And it was a festive time of the year. It's close to Christmas. And they had all the lights up. And I said, wow. And you know how I am. You got to get a little emotional with all of the lights that I saw and how festive it was. And I said, wow, man, I don't even have anybody to share this with.
Oh, wow.
But it was just beautiful, man.
So have you gone back? Have you taken?
No, I haven't taken it back yet. Over there, I haven't taken it. We got places to go.
I got you.
But with COVID, we ain't going nowhere.
No. I got he live up on the mountain, y'all. He live up on the mountain behind some valleys and some rivers, and they can hunt deer and farm for years to come.
God is good
all the time.
and all the time.
Let's go. All right, so crazy question. All right, hold on. I'm gonna ask you this question. First, I'm gonna take up. I broke his glass, by the way. So as I was getting water, I cleaned them together and I cracked one. So y'all get to go to commercial while I grab him a glass of water.
We'll be right back.
It didn't go.
You can just, there it is. Did it go? You can just bring the bottle.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, really?
Yeah. See, look, that was quick. I'm back. Oh, some of y'all left. Y'all fired. I'm just let me behave. All right, so I was gonna ask you a question. Keys to success. Keys to success, right? Because you're relatively successful, right? Would you consider that?
I'm still working on it.
You still working on it. All right. Yeah, which y'all don't know, he also published an album. We're going to talk about that later. I might even play a couple of tracks later on.
Miguel was a photographer, the artist on all of my...
I appreciate it. Yes, yeah. It was, but it's, but all right, so keys to success. This man, pilot, engineer, brilliance, captain.
So I had as a kid.
All right.
I grew up in a very strict household.
Yes, sir.
Had 7 sisters and a brother, and my dad, our dad was just, but he was something else, man. But I just remember as a kid, I remember I wasn't gonna treat my kids like my dad treated us. That was my goal. I wasn't going to do that. So I had some goals that I wanted to be. I wanted to get. I wanted to be married by the time I was 21. You
might be the first dude I've ever met who said I wanted to be married. But let's go. I like that.
I wanted to be married because I had a plan.
Yeah.
I wanted to be married by the time I was 21. I wanted to start having children at 25. And honestly, I was planning on retiring at 55 or so, somewhere in there. But I wanted to be a good husband. I wanted to be a good father.
Okay.
I wanted to be a good servant to the Lord. I wanted to be a good citizen. And I wanted to be a good pilot, whatever occupation that I was going to find myself in.
Yeah.
I wanted to be good at that. I've tried to stay true to that. My son said that I was a good dad. I know I made some mistakes, but I tried to be good. And my wife thinks she still likes me, so I must be doing something.
That's a win. If your parents say, hey, you was a good dad and the wife still likes you after 30 plus years, that's rock solid, cousin. Real talk. I know my wife still likes me, but sometimes she throws rocks at me and I'm just joking. She
loves you.
Yeah, man. She does. She I don't know if she's on here or not. My second wife is on here though. What's up, Ninny? Miss you, love you. Hope you doing all right. Yeah, let the world be confused by that. So
that's funny, man.
How would you, in coming up, like I totally feel like success is defined by the individual, right?
You know what? Now, one thing I will credit my father with is that he made us search for excellence, man.
Okay.
He wouldn't accept, man. I couldn't bring home a B. Yeah. When he knew that I could get an A.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I have to tell you this. Of the 8 kids that was in our family, I'm going to say 9 because my niece.
Y'all come from.
It's a big family.
Big family.
Mississippi.
Let's go. Dirt floors?
No, man, we didn't have dirt floor. Hey, but we did sweep the driveway.
Okay. You was one of them. Y'all had a broom for the concrete. Okay, let's go.
No, for the dirt driveway.
Oh, the dirt driveway. Okay.
Yeah, right. But the interesting thing is, of all of my sisters and brother, I'm proud. Probably, I mean, this is crazy, and they're gonna probably disagree. But I think I was like, even though I had good grades,
yeah,
I was probably the dumbest one of the 9 kids.
That says a lot, dude, because you were typically the smartest person in the room.
They were smart.
Wow.
I was just trying to catch up.
They owe you a big Christmas present.
You hear that set?
They owe you that big.
No, seriously. But here's the thing. But you know, when and here's something too, what I would tell parents, man, don't give your kids everything, make them work.
Yeah.
You know, give them the opportunity to work, but let them work. And the thing about that is I became a hustler.
Okay.
You know, I just believe, because my mom told me that there wasn't anything that I couldn't do. So everything that I tried to do, I did.
Peace.
You know, and don't limit. You know, I tell kids this all the time, Miguel. I say this: never let anybody's negative opinion of you become your reality. And I never did. You know, I don't care. I had some guy tell me, you'll never be a football player. I said, man, you don't know me. I was like 9 years old. I said, you don't know me. I said it under my breath now. You don't know me. So, you know, and it's interesting, when I got my scholarship to go play football at Ole Miss, and I went back to him, because, you know, you got to go back to him. He said, well, you see, you know, because I said that to you, now you're a great football player. I said, that ain't what happened. Yeah, have nothing to do.
The poke didn't help a little bit. You said, I ain't got nothing to prove to you. It's all me.
It's all me.
There it is.
Because I knew that, you know, at 9 years old, I wasn't developed yet.
Okay.
You know, at 10, I wasn't developed yet, but I was coming.
Yeah.
And because I had that desire, it was going to happen.
So you was like a scrawny, knock-knee, short kid.
Skinny little joker.
All right. And now you like 210.
I'm 229.
229. 6'6".
I am not. I'm only 6'2".
6'2", taller than me. Let's go.
But I was fortunate enough to get a football scholarship.
Yeah,
you know, and I got an engineering degree out of it. Praise the Lord. So,
dope.
So,
football brilliance.
Man. Yeah,
football and brilliance. All right.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Here's my question. You ready?
I'm ready.
How would the world be different if women hadn't won the right to vote?
Oh man, you know, I think about Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
And I think about the incredible job she did in galvanizing the votes, especially the black votes here, you know, over this in 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, over 1 million people she got registered to. So I'm saying, oh man, we would be in a world of hurt. And I say that, and you know, I know some guys are going to be upset with me, but women get out there and they do what we talk about doing. You know, and I know some of it may be because, you know, guys are just in going to work and so forth and so on doing that. But you know, I grew up in a household full of women, and they got things done. They just and so
women make the world go round. I'm a firm believer in that. Absolutely.
What did James Brown say?
I don't know what is that what he said?
It's a man's world.
It's a man's world. Well, nah.
It wouldn't be nothing
without a woman.
Without a woman or a girl.
So there it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So real talk, like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Women didn't have the right to vote. You know, I think a lot of the laws and legislation that we have today wouldn't be here. Men would still be out there. You know, we ain't staying on that topic.
I think women also to bring a certain amount of clarity.
Yes,
because you know, oftentimes. I'm just going to say it. When people are oppressed, especially men, we tend to we'll get emotional about it, and our emotion will be to lash out and lash out physically.
Okay,
and that's how we have traditionally tried to handle things for the most part, Miguel, until we had some guys who, and I got to. You know, shout out to Dr. King, Malcolm X, you know, Nat Turner, man. These guys are just smart. You know, Frederick Douglass. These guys who were able to say, hey, listen, let's just look at this from a intellectual point of view and see how we can overcome. You know, so I'm reading this. This is funny. Which you can read it. You want me?
No.
Which celebrity do people say you resemble?
Oh wow. You know what? I think I don't believe I look like him, but people said I look like Boris Kojo. Is that his name? The bald dude, the German cat.
Yeah.
I'll take it. He's a thin, tall brother, so I'm gonna run with that. If that's what you see when I walk down the street, let's go.
That's good. That's real good.
we could do the thing.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. Take away the beard because he doesn't have one.
Well, I'm trying to grow a beard, man. I got this weird thing going on. So I got like Arab hair, right? It's the Latino in me. And it grows straight, so it won't crinkle, won't. I guess the ladies would kind of define it like 2A or 4B hair or something like that, but that's on my face. But it's thin, like my goatee grows out like a goat, so you can comb it. It just, so Tia got me, we went to a little local festival and bought some beard cream and these beard oil ointments, and I've been putting it on my face, and hopefully, it'll turn into something. But it still really ain't really growing. I keep saying I'm gonna cut it off. We're gonna get to December, and if it still looks like this, we know officially it ain't happening, because this is 4 months running.
No kidding.
Yeah, man, it ain't much. I can do this. Yeah. We can get the goatee rocking.
I can't do.
But you super corporate. Let's go.
But I can't even. I can't.
I can't imagine you with a mustache.
I tried. It comes out all scraggly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd have to do like, I have a buddy, man. I have to do like he does. Get some of that eyebrow pencil and put
No, don't do it. Look, I'm telling you right now, if you eyebrow penciling, if you are faking your hair and it is not a wig, stop that. It is madness, complete madness.
I agree.
Don't do it. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Oh man. So what's interesting? What's his name? Samuel Jackson.
Yes,
I get it all the time.
Okay.
I walk through stores. I had one moment. She followed me through Lowe's and she said, "You look like that actor." I said, "Which one?" She said, Samuel L. Jackson. I said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not him.
Not him.
I'm his brother Norman."
We'll take some of that Samuel money though. Let's go. But here's the thing, right? Since we gonna go to Samuel, you act.
Yeah.
You do a lot of reading, poetry.
Yeah. I write.
And you write, right? So author, thespian. Like I'm just going down the list. Pilot, right? Football player, intellectual, pastor. I'm like, what there's got to be something out there that you don't do yet that you about to start.
That is true.
Okay, let's go. What is it?
So I have been toying with the idea of doing voiceovers.
Okay, voice, and he got the voice for it. Let's go. Y'all hear that? Anybody out there need a commercial? Y'all know the deal. Hit up Norm. He got you.
I got you.
Give me a quick plug. Give me a quick voiceover.
Hey, you're listening to Miguel. What do we call it?
Common Conversations.
Common Conversations with Miguel Hampton. We call him Gullies. We'll see you in a minute.
Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know why y'all call me Gully, because I'll punch you in the throat. But let's do it.
Oh man!
All right, so voiceovers. You want to do like voiceovers in a sense, like commercials, voiceovers like books on all
Kindle. Of it, man.
Yeah.
Well, again, don't limit yourself.
Yes.
And it's interesting. I have this thing when you start reading out loud.
Okay.
And I have to get over listening to myself.
You got to get, how is that a bad thing? Good thing?
Yes, because if you're listening while you're reading, then you stop. I'm a critic.
Okay.
And it's interesting. It's difficult for me to go to plays with my wife because when I do, I'm not really it takes me about 4 times to see that play to enjoy it.
I mean, I guess it's gotta be hard for both y'all to go plays, considering she's a playwright and you're a thespian. Right. Y'all got that production. See, that's the other thing I didn't tell y'all about. I'm telling you, man, I'm sitting next to the best carpenter in the world. Let's go.
I did finish my basement.
See, there you go.
So, but I do build sets. So when I go to plays, or even when I'm watching plays on television, like Lou is a big fan, obviously, of Tyler Perry, and I am too.
Yeah.
And I watch his plays on DVD or Blu-ray, and I'm asking, okay, no, that's in his studio. How did they do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I do that with video all the time.
Same. So I ask myself all those questions when I go to a play. It's hard for me to enjoy it for real. I mean, I try to. I'll get bits and pieces of it, but for the most part, I'm trying to figure out how they got that bed on stage and nobody rolled it on. It's just stuff like that,
It just poof, it appears.
Yeah, it's just there, and then it just rolls off. I'm saying, okay, they got it. I'm sitting there, wheels are turning,
all right,
to try to figure this out, and then the lighting too, because it has to be right.
Lighting is key. Lighting's key to everything.
Yep,
it really is. Sound lighting, y'all don't know. Lighting and sound are the most important things in any production. Because poor lighting and your visuals was horrible. You mess up and muck around and screw the sound up and nobody watches. Yeah, nobody wants to watch a Charlie Chaplin movie. Not at all.
Not these days.
Nah, not even close, right? That's why I'm always playing with lighting in here. Like every week it's a different light set. And sometimes the background is even, sometimes it's not. Y'all be thinking I just be like, oh, willy-nilly. Nah, I'll be like, let me see what happens if I do this.
Oh yeah. And Miguel's magnificent. You guys haven't seen you haven't even got a snippet really of what Miguel does.
I appreciate it.
It's cool. I love how he's built this studio. We had a good time.
Yeah, because it's my garage. Well, it's a garage. So we got the building last year, and we turned a warehouse into a functional studio, and it's not a sound stage. Right. So Tyler Perry, if you got some grants, bro, throw some money my way. We'll build us a sound page. Maybe I need to call you and write you a letter or something. But yeah, we need it. It's not completely soundproof. Right. And we got the motorcycle club right next door. Yeah, and we got the car, the guys who build cars right on the other side of it. So any given moment you could get and run right past us. But the reality of it is that if you believe it, do it, and the rest will grow. And I believe that. I tell you, and the reason I say that even more so because I guess, man, has it been 7 years, 8 years? So I met Norm and Lou. Like, I don't remember the first time I met him.
Oh man, that was my nephew Brian. He just says, "What's up?
What's going on, nephew?" So when did we first meet you?
It was Miguel. It was back in we
was at barbecue. Yeah, somebody's house party
at one of my buddies' house. Yeah. But that was, man, it was over 12 years ago.
Really? Yeah. It's been that long?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. So I met these cool people, because I don't normally come out the house to hang out with just anybody, but my wife had friends and we met them up there, which was super cool. And then
it may have been
12 years.
Yeah, I know it was at least 12 years, and it may have been in 06 or 07.
Okay. And then we reconnected when I was doing the salsa business.
Yeah.
I walked into the lab when we was doing the Kickstarter.
No. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, in church.
And you came to my Sunday school class.
Yeah, that's right. You got me out the bed for a little while, because y'all know I don't get up in the morning.
You don't get up in the morning.
Not at all. I just finished a project, and I had to drive about 45 minutes every couple of days. And I had to be there at 8 a.m, set up, ready to go.
Wow.
Which means I had to get up at 5 a.m. so that I could be there at 8. Otherwise, I wasn't making it.
Yeah.
And they was like, one time I was super late. They was like, you're normally so punctual. I'm like, y'all have no idea. I was up 4 hours before I could even get here on time. But yeah, man. So the point I make is like, it's amazing. It's amazing random people that you bump into.
Right.
And then just in random places, random spaces, and the relationships that forge after that.
You know what though, and you think about that. One of my buddies who's a pastor, and he's down in Florida now, John Williams. He said something about with friendship and with relationships and so forth. He said you can't pick that fruit until it's right. When we met you and you met us,
yeah,
we connected,
yeah,
but then we lost touch for 2 years.
Yeah,
you know, and I remember after we reconnected, you asked your wife, you asked Tia, whatever happened to that couple we met at at your friend's house, and then a couple of weeks later,
boom,
showed up.
Yeah,
so
that's a unique thing too, because when if you ask for something, it comes.
Well, that's biblical, man.
Yeah, real talk, right? And so words have power, the things you think and do and act. And, you know, so I know I kept asking for something particular in my life. And it's kind of crazy because y'all kept coming and recycling and coming and, you know, and y'all still being here, which is cool because that means I ain't completely crazy.
Let me tell you something, y'all. I got to tell you this. I love Miguel Hampton.
Man,
and it's
vice versa, brother. Love y'all.
And
love you.
And we absolutely support him as much as we can because he's got a great heart. He's a good man. We support. I told him, I said, Miguel, I said, my goal is to help you to become a multimillionaire.
Let's go. Let's go. We can do that in a year. We doing something for real.
oh, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Brian Trapp said. So we working on that because we try. And it's interesting. Guys, I don't want to be like putting all these plugs in, but we're talking about generational wealth.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We need to try to build for our children. And
yes.
so we talk about because,
yes,
you know, Maria, gosh, I can't even believe she's
16, man. 16. Man. She'll be 17 in a couple of months.
Amazing, you know.
Oh, it's blowing my mind.
But you're a great father. You're a great
husband.
Thank you. You're a great man. And he wants to, like all of us, wants to provide for our children and leave them something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the interesting thing is, so how do we do that? And I've been, I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but I've been keying in on Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Yes. You know? Yes. Boyce is a beast out there. Man. You know, PhD in finance.
Yeah. And taught at Syracuse. And Norman, our oldest son, got his master's from Syracuse University. So we're
Boyce has you know, I'll plug it on my Facebook or the Common Conversations page if you guys want to check it out. But Boyce has a series, his own school. Where they teach Black economics for kids, adults at every level. He gets into business as well. And actually, he and his brother actually own several companies. Mm-hmm. And so just an influential and great person to follow when you're talking finance. Right, so yeah, right. Boyce is that dude.
And it's interesting. He does one of the things that he does, and I appreciate it. And he says, "Look, I'm not telling you to do this." He said, "But people have asked me what are the stocks and so forth that I invest in, and here are a couple of them, and I'm just letting you guys know." So Brian,
Boyce Watkins, Leo. So what kind of real quick, you know, what kind of right now COVID. Let's do this. Oh, you know what should someone invest in during COVID other than weed stocks? Because we know Snoop is enticing people.
I know, right? you know, it's interesting. What have you been seeing? It's very interesting. There are a lot of companies, but it's not going to last long. But there are a lot of companies that are coming up with these clear masks.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Face shields.
The face shields. Well, not simply just face shields. They got the latest one is, but they just started. It's interesting. Has the ventilation, the HEPA filter. Up here and out here, and it covers the entire face. Almost like something you see in one of the sci-fi movies.
Yeah, like I got a respirator in there, so if you just put a shield over top of it. Boom.
Yeah, but everything's clear. Even the exhaust ports.
Really?
Say it like that. The exhaust ports are not intrusive looking. Your face is shown.
Okay.
But that's a kickstart. Those kind of things in my mind, I was like, they're good they're going to be good for about 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
Because, you know, with the vaccine that's coming out now, and I don't know if you guys saw, but was it Pfizer? Pfizer's trying to get clearance in the next 2 days. They're pushing for the next 2 days to try to get clearance to push their what is it? It's not
I don't know. We're gonna look it up.
What is it? Y'all help me because I'm drawing a complete blank here. What do you take when you? Because I don't do
ointments.
Vaccine. That's what I'm looking for. The word.
Vaccines. Yeah, ain't nobody doing no vaccines, man. Tuskegee experiment. Cut that out. We ain't going there.
Hey, it's funny.
Next thing you know, everybody got gonorrhea herpes, and they were like, "You already got it." You know what I mean? Like, I think. COVID ain't a host, but I do think they created it, kind of like AIDS. You know, matter of fact, I was watching something on Captain America, right? And so Captain America in the first event, I think in the Avengers, that he came out and he was running down the street, and somebody put it on Facebook. If you look up, there's a Corona beer. He was running down Manhattan, so there's a Corona beer on one sign, and then above it, it talks about a virus. So coronavirus. I'm just saying, maybe they knew about that 10 years ago. I'm just, whatever. You ain't Tuskegee and me.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of like this cancer.
You know what I found?
Hope they want to give all these kids.
Yeah, no. You know what I found during this pandemic? Excuse me. We were fortunate enough, by the grace of God, I bought a tiller this year so I could do a garden.
Yes.
And we were fortunate enough to grow our own vegetables and fruit too. And I have to tell you, man, I've eaten very healthily these past 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
Okay. Seriously. And I have to honestly, and I know I've probably been exposed to somebody who may have been affected by the coronavirus. Yeah. But there's some things that we do. We do those steam treatments.
Steam treatment. Tell the viewers what kind of steam treatment.
It's interesting. It's we call it citrus steaming, where you take either a lemon peel. Or Facebook's going to shut you down if I talk.
They already shut me down, bro. Real quick before you answer that. So I'm gonna just be honest. Facebook the other day, I went to make a post on my personal page, and it said your advisor, your admin had to approve it.
Oh my!
On my personal page. So, Facebook, you get the middle finger, and I'm still going to use you. Let's go.
So interestingly, we'll take. I normally just do lemons.
Yeah.
But you can do when we started doing it with orange peels, and then I just eat the orange. But I'll do lemon and put it in about 1.5 inches of water with some sea salt, and bring it to a boil. And I put a towel over my head, and I'll do steam inhalation for about 10 minutes.
And it opens you right up.
Yeah, man.
Clears it out.
You know what? And it cleanses your skin, believe it or not. It opens the pores, and you just, if nothing else, and I'm just going to say this, it refreshes you. Now, what I have heard about this virus is that it is susceptible to heat. Mm-hmm. And it cultivates in the coolest part of your brain, up near your upper sinus. So if you're doing deep steam inhalation with, that steam is at 205 degrees or so.
That's a beautiful thing. It just feels good. I'm just saying, sometimes I do it just for fun. When I was a bad kid, when I was a little kid, I used to run over to the stove when my mom was boiling noodles and stick my face over it and just breathe like, ooh, feel the steam. You know what I mean?
Oh, but the noodles smell good too.
Yeah, noodles. Yeah, real talk. But imagine some oranges and some other stuff. Now, Nikki will have us eating whole garlic, like man, garlic. Yeah, and hot peppers.
My sister puts garlic and citrus in hers.
Okay,
Tony.
okay.
And actually, she's a COVID survivor.
There it is.
My baby sister.
There it is. And congratulations.
We had her doing those things, and she did it, man. And it's funny. She is now like an authority on surviving COVID-19.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but a bad strand of flu. That's SARS.
Yeah. Well, but the interesting thing is, I don't understand why our government feels like they have to come up with some kind of vaccine to overcome this thing. I know we.
Come on, man. You know why?
Okay.
Did you really just say that?
I did say that.
Hey, y'all, he said that on the show. He said he don't know why the government.
I'm gonna drink my water. Right
he said he don't know why the government needs to come up with a vaccine. I know at least 3 of my viewers know why the government had to come up with we need the money.
What's up, Brian Trapp?
Right, insurance, right? Because insurance is not a capital business. It is a government-run free business, right? This is one of the only few businesses that everybody's forced to buy into, right? And so Big Pharma makes big millions lobbying. And so if they can create a new vaccine, they can make billions, trillions.
Amen.
Yeah, man, we know why they want a vaccine. So they can stick us in the arm and say it's 95% effective. And if you're part of that 5%, you're going to die or get some other disease. It's kind of like insulin for diabetics, right? Yeah. We'll help you, but we're going to kill your kidneys in the process.
Something's going to die.
Yeah, something else is going to die, right? So, we got to think about it sometimes when our doctors are practicing medicine on us.
And that's the thing. I think we forget, that, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate everyone who who sacrificed to go into the medical field. But
True story.
It's a practice.
Yes.
It really is a practice. And it's funny because I'll never forget one of my doctors tried to say I had high blood pressure. I said, no, I don't. I said, I can tell you because I have like 5 different blood pressure machines. I'm always taking my blood pressure because I was like, I remember my father died from a heart attack.
Okay.
And so I've always just, that's cheap. I can go buy a little cheap blood pressure.
Yeah, real
machine
talk.
And just take. So I was so upset. I knew what happened. I had gone over to my friend's house the day prior, a day prior, and I had eaten these salt and pepper pistachio nuts. They were so good.
Salty.
But they were good.
But they was good.
They were really good.
I'm sure.
So
Let's go.
But when I got home, I worked out, right?
All right.
I got my workout in, and I took my blood pressure, and it was like, 117 over 63. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. Man, I got in there the next day.
That's why I don't even look, y'all. I just let it be high.
My blood pressure was up. I'm like, whoa. Because and the assistant who took it, she said, that is not me. She said, that is you. I said, what are you doing? But anyway, when I digress, when my doctor called me and she was saying that, you have blood pressure. I'm going to put in high blood pressure. I said, no. I said, we're not doing that. I said, I don't have high blood pressure. I said, I'm telling you, I take my blood pressure all the time. I don't have high blood pressure. She said, well, bring your machine in and let's calibrate it. Let's see. I said, okay, we can do that, but I'm not taking. So I was so upset. I called my wife and she reminded me with such a calming voice. She said, Norman, that's why they call it a practice.
Absolutely. That's the same way you go out there and grab that driver in the backyard and hit them a couple golf balls so you can get better at it. They will stick you in the arm with a needle so that they can get better at it. Can't find a vein? Come see me. Real talk. Yeah, we know the medical and lawyers, judges, everybody out here. Look, here's the thing. Everybody out here in business is practicing.
Everybody.
No one is an expert in any of this. We all know something a little different than someone else. We all do something different than someone else. But the reality of it is that, ain't nobody out here really doing nothing new, true. Doctors only know what they know because they studied it in somebody else's book that might have got it wrong.
Exactly. And might have got it wrong.
Henrietta Lacks is why she's still alive, right? Because they still can't quite figure out how her cancer cells are creating new vaccines.
Amazing.
But see what they do to black people. But I digress.
Hello.
Man, I really appreciate you hanging out with me.
Man, I got to tell you, I had to build up my nerves because I know you.
Well, you got to see, this is, so those of y'all listening, this is me on my best behavior. Y'all ain't never seen me do a show like this. Never. Right?
But here's something, Miguel.
Let's go.
What do you feel guilty about?
What do I feel guilty about? Oh, wow, man. That's, if I'm gonna be honest, there was a fight that I got into in college, and I still feel guilty that I hurt that dude like that. Like, I feel guilty about that whole fight. I feel, so other than that, I don't feel guilty about nothing. Everything else I do realistically is intentional. And if it's right or wrong or in between, I own it, and there's no guilt that comes along with it. It's, the times that I feel guilty is honestly when I do something or I'm caught in something and my actions aren't intentional, right? I'm reacting to something versus being proactive to something. And people get hurt. But if nobody gets hurt, feelings don't get hurt, I'm gravy.
Talking about that reactive mindset as opposed to being proactive.
Yeah.
I wonder, and I wonder how many of your listeners might answer this. How many of us? I feel like a lot of us have fallen into a rut of being reactive.
Yes.
More so than being proactive. And it seems like we're waiting for stuff to happen so that we can respond to it.
Yes.
Instead of causing things to happen. And I think, and it seemed like this year we're waking up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it feels like for the most part, we have been in a reactive state of mind for such a long period of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I think, if you look at it like, definitely using this year as an example, we most of us woke up and didn't know what COVID was. Right. And it just all of a sudden our world stops. And so we're reacting to they shut down, right? The world no longer, our norms are being affected, right? You can't get TP for the bunghole at the grocery store because there's no TP. What are you going to do, right? So you're reacting to this. I think for me, for the first half of the year, I was reacting to it. And then all of a sudden, I stopped and said, hold on, let's pause, right? Everybody's going home. Everybody's quarantining. Businesses are going to stop everywhere, regardless of size to some degree. What can I do different? What can I actively do? How can I change my decisions? How can I rethink the life that I'm living? And in that sense, when I flipped it and started becoming more proactive, even in this setting, right, things started changing. Things weren't as bad as they seem. Things are still bad. They just aren't as bad as they seem. Like, doing the podcast became a reactionary thing because somebody called me and said, hey, I want to do a thing. And I was like, yeah, let me help you. Those weren't my actions. Right. And then when I flipped it and decided, let me move how I move, let me make decisions and start building, right? Game changer. Right. Now we got something that's sustainable, right? We get to pivot in this space.
And here's something I want to get back to that because that's a mindset that a lot of us don't have. A mindset of pushing the narrative instead of waiting for the narrative to happen and then responding to it. And I think, and you've done it, but that's just your character.
Well, growing up the way I've grown up, I've always, my mother gave me the opportunity when I was in second, third grade, somewhere around there, however old you are in that space, to make the hardest decision I was going to ever make in my life. And that was to decide how I was going to live in that moment. And, ever since then, the hard decision hasn't been that hard. Right. And so waking up and saying, I got to do what's in my best interest, or I'm not going to do what's in my best interest. Right. It's yeah.
And so looking like today, are in these times that we're living in now. So how do people and oh, by the way, Leo did answer our question with vaccine.
Yeah, 95% effective, and vaccine. Yeah, he did. Let's go.
How do people generate? How do we do that to help people generate a proactive mindset instead of a reactive mindset? Because we've gotten into allowing things just to happen. What was it? Those three kinds of people. The people who
my three people.
Yeah.
So you also you got my three people, right? You got the one who's gonna always do wrong, right? You got the middle one who could do wrong or do right, and then you got the main one who will never do no wrong. And most people are the 50%er, right? And in any given situation, they get to decide who they're going to be, the good guy or the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And but I think no, that's good. But I was thinking about the other one.
What's the other
some people who make things happen.
Oh yeah.
Watch things happen.
Yeah.
And then wonder what happened.
Yeah, those are the three. Yeah, those are still the three. Right. Yeah. True story. We just got to flip it out. Use new words. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. So we've gotten away from the make things happen. I remember you were asking me about all those things. My dad was a businessman.
Yeah.
I learned, I guess engineering was I was destined to become that because he was a radar technician, for the military.
I want y'all to hear that, radar technician. That's where brilliance come from. But all right.
But then he also fixed televisions in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And radios and I was there with him, and he built his own shop. He built something like what you have here, in his yard. And it was crazy because that guy, he was a businessman, and I don't even know if my dad ever had a high school education.
Some of the most brilliant business people in this country, even some of the top Fortune 500 companies, their CEOs only have a high school diploma. Right. The society told us this lie that we have to go get degrees in order to compete. Now, I'm not saying that we don't, but some of the most brilliant people in this world, Chuck D has an honorary PhD. That dude reads so much, reads, writes, and engages so much that they gave him a PhD.
Well, yeah.
I mean, let's go.
He earned it.
Well, he earned it, yeah. I mean, so there are a lot of brilliant people, and your dad was a doer, right? And so he woke up and he did, and he constantly did, and in a world like this, that's the proactive, mindset in a sense that you're constantly learning and not afraid to learn new things, right? And so if you wake up every day and say, I'm going to do something new, I'm going to do something different, I'm going to learn something that I don't know. and I'm willing to take the risk to make it happen. I think in that sense, those are the type of people who have proactive steps, right, instead of reactionary steps.
Right. Miguel, I do some motivational speaking.
Let's go.
And
how can we book you real quick? Go on and say that for the motivational.
And call Miguel.
Okay, let's go.
But one of the things I talk about, and I really utilize that Franklin Covey, Stephen Covey platform. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And when you talk about being proactive,
yes, sir,
you do that. And here's the thing too. When you're being proactive, you're making stuff happen instead of letting it happen,
yes,
and then wondering what happened. And then you begin with the end in mind, and that's it. That's the key to anything. How do you want your success to look like? What does the end look like to you? What does it look like to you? When you think about that, what does it look like to you? And in the military, we have these key result areas because you go on and on and on. You got questions?
Nah, you good.
All right. You have these key result areas to where, wow, man, we've been on for a while.
I've run as long as 2 hours. It's up to you, brother. We can go as long as you want. See, here's the thing, because I chop it up and turn this into 3 shows.
Oh, wow.
Let's do it.
So it goes to the point to where you have these milestones we talk about in life.
Yes, right? yes.
And so you have your milestones also in your plan.
Yeah.
Of how the end is going to look like. What's the end? Multi-millionaire. All right.
Let's go.
So how do you get there? Well, you got to start where you are.
Every journey.
Yes. Every journey. All right. So think along those lines, beginning with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Right. And then in one word, I call it just one word, and it's basically just planning, preparation, right? The 6 P's.
Yes.
Prior planning prevents poor performance.
Let it go.
Never heard me say that.
I know. You was hard. I was going to say it for you, but I said I was going to behave, so you got to do it yourself. See, y'all see how I flip it, right? You come on my show and I behave, and then I'll let you be the bad
guy. Yeah, but plan, and it's weird because I think about that. There's 1,440 minutes in a day.
Yes.
And when you think about taking 1% of that, 14 minutes to plan the other 99%.
Let's go.
Life, how long does it take? How long does it take you to plan? It doesn't take 5 minutes to just say, okay, what is tomorrow's going to look like for me?
Nah, I sit down every morning and I write down a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do today?
And how long does it take you to do it? 5 minutes, maybe?
Maybe 5 minutes. Right? And if it's really long and I'm really divested, maybe 20. But honestly, I won't, you can spend 5 minutes writing down, okay, these are the things that I want to accomplish today.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you actually have to accomplish them, but these are the things that you're working for, and the things that you don't accomplish today, you can move to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you're right. We to be proactive, planning is key.
Right.
The other thing is I think people have to learn how to set goals.
Exactly.
Right. And they can be as, and for me, it would be throw away every lesson that someone told you about setting a goal. And I would tell you, make it as lofty as you possibly can. Set big goals, set small goals, set goals like things that you've never done before. Because you know what? Along that journey, when you set that goal and then you put the action to the goal, and you're gonna achieve way more than you ever could imagine. You might not hit the actual lofty goal, but trust, you're gonna hit so many other things along the way.
In that light too, of being short-term goals,
yes,
and long-term goals.
Yes.
I knew for long-term, I knew what I wanted my life to look like in the end. But for the short term, I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to find me a good wife.
See, there it is. See, what? let me tell you my young goals, and I hit most of them. So he wanted to find a good wife. I never wanted to get married. I did get married, but that was not on the goal. That was along the journey.
It was a byproduct.
It was a byproduct of doing things well. So, when I was younger, one of the things I wanted to do is I've always wanted to be a business owner. Never really wanted to be an entrepreneur, but nobody was really throwing that word around. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to study. I wanted to trade stocks. I probably wanted to get my Series 7 at some point. But I knew I wanted to have enough money by the time I was 21 to buy my first house. Mm-hmm. I did have the money, didn't buy the house. And then I knew that by the time I was 40 years old, I wanted to have made at least $1 million. I should have had a different goal. I should have said something, and I wish there were smarter people around me than I was. I should have said I would have liked to have $1 million liquid vested that was earning money. Right. Instead of, I just wish I would have made $1 million. Because I made $1 million by that point.
Oh, I know.
It just wasn't there no more.
Right.
Because I didn't have, I wasn't smart enough. I didn't have the wisdom yet to understand what I was doing.
Right. Keep going.
Right. And so, but I'll tell you what it taught me. It taught me not to be afraid of the losses.
Yeah.
Because they're going to come. Right. And it taught me to take the risk, because the risk is what got me to those earning points. Right. The risk was what allowed me to jump into multiple careers and to do all these different things. Like, people are like, well, how do you know all this stuff? Taking risk, being in corporate retail, being able to do live events and concerts and, down to even setting up sound and audio, and being able to take other people's devices and plugging them together to make them do other things. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as a kid, all I knew I wanted to do was be wealthy.
Right.
And
the thing is that, how many men do you know that you trusted enough? And that's the other thing too, that you trusted enough to have those kind of conversations with.
Yeah.
To where, you know what? Hey, because what we, as a kid growing up, I don't know about you all, but for me, Miguel, it's put your money in the bank, save it.
Yes.
Instead of look at the stock market, invest.
Yes.
And I think that's where we have gotten it all wrong, because, and it's crazy because generationally we trust the banks. Nothing wrong with banks.
Nah, gotta trust Norm. Gotta trust Norm.
Nothing wrong with the banks, but I'm saying is we still need to invest our money.
We do. So, okay, I'm gonna say this, right? So, podcast, right? The thing is we sharing, right? Being authentic. You can take them all. Yeah. You might not want to trust the banks. Because here's the thing. Bank is an institution. It's a business that is there to make money off your money. It ain't always there to serve you. Right. They're in the business of serving themselves. Right. But your friend, right, your family member who's doing well, we have to get to, if you're not in a space, we have to get to a place where the people who are around you, we serve each other. Right. And we can share, right? We can share the hardships. I can tell you the first time I lost all the money, and I can tell you the story and be like, boom, without fear of you're going to use it in some kind of negative way. Right. But if I can share my authentic story, just maybe the lessons that I learned, you'll learn. And then as you go down that same journey, you won't make the same mistakes. Right. Or maybe my mistakes actually benefit you. And see, that's something that we got to think about too, because the story is the story, and what worked for me might not work for you, and what didn't work for me might work for you.
And again, but in the Black community, we as men have been so, I want to say, so careful not to share like that.
What do you think that is?
Well, I have all my theories, right?
All right, 30 seconds. So I'll give you. You give me 30. I'll give you 30.
Okay. We have been indoctrinated not to trust one another.
True story.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so we've been indoctrinated to think that if you know some vulnerable information about me, you're going to hold it against me and use it against me so that you can get up in the world.
Yes.
And that it would hurt me.
We do. We have that insecurity.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Exactly.
But we can overcome that.
That's my 30
right.
seconds.
It's an easy thing.
That's my 30 seconds.
That's your 30 seconds. You gave this. I'm giving you the solution. The solution is stop it and just do it. Right. Here's the thing. It happened. Whatever it is, whatever the story is, it happened. Right. So now tell it.
Yeah.
If here's the thing, if you kill somebody, keep it to yourself. There's no statute of limitations. So if it can't hurt you, share the story, right? I mean, everybody has a great story and everybody has a story to tell. And I think if we share the things, we share our experiences, and how things impacted us. Man, it's an awesome thing, because not only can somebody hear that, receive it, and say, look, I got a better opportunity for you, or I got a different opportunity for you. You might also touch someone else who's going down that journey and they're facing the same situation. And now they just heard your story and they have an opportunity to rethink because they got new information. So yeah, man, we got to share.
Right.
We got to share. We got to trust each other. And this is coming from the guy who got trust issues. You know, we do. You know, you know, a good friend of mine told me, he said, Miguel, do you trust the mailman to put the mail in the mailbox? I said, yes. He said, do you trust the mailman to pay your bill? I said, no. He said, that's trust. I said, okay, let's break it down. Like, all right, I'm starting to understand how we going to do this trust thing, right? So, you know, people used to say all the time, trust people for where they are or who they show you they are. And I think that's important, but I also think, you know, sometimes you can trust people for who they don't show you, like the person that they hide.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, listening to a person, it's not what they said, it's what they didn't say that has more value, or can steer you into or you know where you go next. So yeah, man, we can trust each other.
Yeah,
you know, you got to trust yourself too, though.
Well, absolutely,
and that's important.
Well, I think the other thing too is just being honest with yourself.
Yes,
you know, because you know we're not perfect. And we're going to make mistakes, and it's okay to own up to those mistakes when we make them. But instead of feeling like somebody's going to use it against you, you know, I asked you this question earlier about what do you feel guilty about, and I didn't answer it for you. I feel guilty that I didn't do more with helping my sons learn about investing.
I got you.
You know, it's just something, and I think about that. But I got to tell you, it's interesting because, you know, from the time that they were little, 2 to 3 years old, we were teaching them how to read. And teaching them how to learn to read, right? And when they got to be, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old or whatever, then they began to read to learn, and they know. No thanks to me. Well, I don't know, but they know now about investing. It's crazy, and they are investing. They're investing in ways that I never even thought about.
Okay, let's go.
Because
you gave them the foundation.
Well, somebody did.
Yeah, y'all gave them the foundation, and I think that's the great experiment and a great testament to y'all being parents and brilliant people. Is that, you know, y'all took the risk and said, you know what, I'm going to teach you how to learn. Mm-hmm. Right? Y'all did what most people wait for school systems to do for their children.
Oh, that's something else too. Talk about school systems.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and you do the same thing. We were always in the school with our sons.
You better be.
It didn't matter. And we showed up all the time. You
can't have a foreign entity teaching your children, right? Because they, you know, I'm gonna be honest, you know, if you know, first of all, just because slavery, you know, I can't allow a white institution that is its foundation in some degree is white supremacy, educate my child. And then I have an expectation of my child to do something different, right? And to be something different. Right. But yet the institution that they're being educated in is telling them every day that they are less than just based on the color of their skin. And we know textbooks do that. We know policy does that. So for me to send my black child, my black daughter, my black queen, my princess into an institution, into Rome, and allow Rome to manipulate her mind. Hell nah. Nah, bro. I gotta retool her every time she comes home. Right? Because let's know we got some racist teachers in our school systems. I'm not going to talk about Jeff High like that and any of the teachers over there that might be teaching something crazy. But I'm just going to say, you know, I know sometimes my kid has to come home and be like, Daddy, I was just in history class. Did it really lay it out like that? I'm like, babe, here's the other sides of the story. And I put it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now we can't, we you know, so even in that, we as black people, right, men and women, husbands and wives and fathers and mothers, it's on us to really give our kids the type of foundation we want them to have so that they can survive and navigate this world, right? And the greatest gift we can give our kids is one, the ability, the same gift God gave us, the ability to make decisions, and the ability to learn, right? Because if you give your kid the ability to learn, no one can tell them anything without them being like, let me go check and confirm.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can sit up here and tell you all kind of truth, lies, and deceit. And somebody who has a foundation of learning is going to go look it up. Somebody who doesn't, they're going to go to TikTok.
Hello. And you know, you talk about that learning thing. I was just fortunate enough to find, by the grace of God, Lou in my life, because, you know, Lou has her master's in political science. And what she did was she wrote a play called Our Story. And it chronicles, you know, the black man from slavery, from slavery to the Middle Passage to Jim Crow and to where we are today.
Let's go.
And it was incredible. It's called Our Story. And and guess what? Our sons were in those plays.
Let's go.
So that kind of thing. And she has this ability to write like that. So I was fortunate enough to be exposed to her and having that kind of mindset.
Gifted people do gifted things. I'm just saying, we all got gifts. You got to use them.
Absolutely.
Right? Brilliance is just there. This brilliance is waiting on you to move. That's the proactive movement.
I'm going to have to use that one.
Let's go.
Brilliance is waiting on you to move. I'm going to write that one.
Let's go. We are all brilliant people. We are all intelligent people.
Yeah, man.
Right? There's no dumb person out here in the world. Now, there's some stupid people, but I mean, that's because they smart and they know they doing stupid things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean.
What else, Miguel?
I don't know. I ain't got nothing else. We've been on here kicking it.
I know it seemed like it's been only 20 minutes. We've been on here for a while.
We've been on here for an hour and 17 minutes. Usually we run for about 2 hours or an hour. It all depends on the person in the hot seat. And this has been a good conversation.
It's been great. It's been great conversation. I mean, you give me a lot to think about.
All right.
And a lot to do. And it's crazy, man. One of the things that I find as an African American man in this corporate environment is that you get tired. You just get exhausted from having to fight the racist fight. Now, people might say, "Oh, Norm, you haven't had anything." What I do is I address it right away. And, the older I get, it's kind of like, remember L.A. Reid and Babyface?
Yes.
I remember Reid said something. He was in New York and he was trying to catch a cab, and none of the cabs would stop for him. And this was, before they blew up like they did. And he said, "Man, I just don't feel like being black today."
Being black is hard, man.
And sometimes you get that when you're in corporate America and you have been fighting the same fights over and over and over again. And you think that at one point you're making some headway.
Yes.
And then it seems like the next year it's all gone.
How do we change it?
Man,
can we change it?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
But what we're going to have to do is get all those white folk in the same room with us and talk.
Yeah. So you say,
because and here's the thing too, and I say that because I was discussing this with one of the white guys.
Okay.
And he's not educated.
Most white people aren't.
No, but because in his mind,
a lot of white folks are.
His mind, it's interesting. I was the angry black man again.
Oh, well,
And I said, okay. I said, you don't see it. And maybe that's because you don't think that way. And I appreciate that. But let me tell you, it's real.
I'm a firm believer that anybody who uses the angry black woman or the angry black man phrase is an uneducated person.
Yeah. He didn't say it.
I'm just, whether he implied he looked it, felt
the
it.
Look, yeah.
I mean, that's so here's the thing, like, and my wife Tia has taught me this better than most people. The reality of it is that black folks have studied more about our colonial oppressors than they have studied themselves. Right. And so we in many ways know more about them than they know about them. Right. On top of that, we study us because we've been constantly searching for who we were because they took it from us. Amen. Right. When they took our names, they took our culture. When they tried to beat us, they attempted to beat us into suppression. In control, and you do realize that didn't happen because we still out here screaming and hollering and we ain't slaves no more. So it took a couple hits, but the reality of it is that we studied, right? Yeah. And we have to navigate racism, right? So we have to navigate the challenges that racism puts on us and how it affects us on a daily. On a daily. So, yeah, man.
What did Cynthia just say?
Cynthia said, "I'm going to use that one." Oh, when I made that statement, I don't even know what I said.
Brilliance.
Oh, yeah, brilliance. Brilliance is waiting on you to move.
What did she say above that? I lived what?
I lived in school.
I lived in my kids' school.
My kids' school. Yeah.
You should. And every parent should. Every parent should.
Absolutely. So man, so you said, like, I've been in a lot of conversations this year, specifically this year, about race, definitely with the death of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and so on and so forth. My man Sean up in Indianapolis, because they shot 3 people in Indy, right? I'm at Indiana is can I use this word, insidious? Like, Indiana knows how to hide its bigotry, dirty griminess, right? They sitting in the corner being just straight silent murking people. But I digress. So, we've been having a lot of conversations, and I've run into situations where I'm talking to some white folk, and they're like, well, we didn't know that happened. We didn't know that happened. We never heard of that. We never heard of that. We didn't know that happened. I don't see race. I don't see color. And, I want to stick them all in a bag, right? And just shake them the hell up and then roll them back out on the ground. But like, go read a book. Like, y'all write so many books. Do me a favor. Go pick up a book that a white person didn't write.
Exactly. and that's one of the things, what's interesting. And I think, Miguel, I know you have like Brittany, I know you're giving this away.
Yes.
But I would encourage you to do this, man. And if you get an opportunity,
let's go.
For the platform to pick a book, pick a book. Do like Oprah did. Pick a book that you're going to discuss and take a month or so. Let your readers read it and discuss it for the next month or something like that, or just talk about it and let them. I think that'll get us into the mindset of getting back into reading, so that we'll see what the think tanks are doing out there.
Okay,
this is just something.
Let's go. I'm all for it.
There's so many other things too, because I know there are some investment clubs. I'm changing gears.
No, that's what we got to do. We got to be versatile. It's all about money.
Yeah, you believe it or not, and or you can start your own.
Yeah.
It doesn't take.
So we need an investment club.
Matter of fact, Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Yes.
There are some black businesses out there that you can easily invest in for a small amount of money. You don't have to have no $10,000 or even $1,000 or even $500, but you can invest in some of these companies that are startups that are African American startup businesses. So.
And they want, and African American businesses need the investment, right?
Yep.
And we need black folks to invest in us.
Absolutely.
I will tell you that if not for black folks during this year, I probably would have closed my doors.
Well, I wasn't gonna let you close.
Well, again, black folk. Real talk. I mean, COVID. In a society where we are 14%, African American. I'm one of the. There are black owned businesses here, but there are very few that are like me in this space. And our world got shut down. And the benefit of and it sucks to benefit from an atrocity such as Breonna Taylor, the death of Breonna Taylor, who still is yet to get justice. It did send such a vigor and such an energy out into the world that there's a degree of consciousness now that wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah.
And even the movement to say buy black, right? Even black people started seeking out black businesses. Like, where are they? Can I buy groceries? Can I get this here? Can I get that service here? How do we begin to support and build our own? Because black economics is strong, right? We fuel the entire country economically, right? So what if we do just we take 10% of what we spend with everybody else and start spending it at home. But yet I'd like to see 90-10 ratio, but we got to get to that point. But the point I'm making is that as businesses started shutting down, right, and people were closing, black folks, conscious black people who were out here still having the opportunity to spend, said, how can I spend it with a brother or a sister that owns a business? Right. And that's survival. White folks were already doing it with each other because they're trained to do it that way, right? And they train us to shop with them too. So, it's so super dope. And I'm sure there's a lot of black companies out there who have a similar story.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there have been some white folks who call too. It's like, yo, we intentionally want to do business with a black owned company. We're not talking about black certification. We're not talking about being an MBE, WBE, DOE, all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, I can talk that language too. They specifically said, yo, I just want to do business with somebody black, and you got a company and you serve this. Can we work with you? And I think a lot of people are doing that. And that's, that's the American dream right there. Yeah. So we just got to make that manifest. manifest a little harder, get them billions. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Got to get the billions.
Let's go.
Because they're out there.
It is.
And we spend a lot of money.
Yeah. So I'm working on a series right now, and I'm not going to tell the whole series. So the series is I am getting ready to start doing kind of a short documentary of the Black entrepreneurs within a 25 to 50 mile radius of where we're sitting at. And I want to do a short documentary on their story of surviving this year.
Wow, that's
because we've got a lot of startups, right? And when I say startup, I'm not talking tech multi-million-dollar startups. I'm talking, people who went out and said, hey, I've got $25, $50, $100,000. And during this period, I'm going to create a pathway of independence.
You know what I've seen too, though, Miguel, because I know some guys who have businesses.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I don't think that they have business goals to expand or to grow. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I say that because I know a guy who had a detailing business with his automobiles detailing business.
Yeah.
He had about, maybe 10 customers.
Yeah.
And that's all he wanted.
Well, and
He just wanted to do he wanted to keep those 10 customers, do their vehicles so he can go fishing.
make basic life. I mean, but and there's nothing wrong with that if you want to go there. Right. But if you do want to grow and you do want to expand, right? There's an education that has to come with that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, that's where we come into, right? Because I want to hear how my Black counterparts are winning. Right. I want to hear how you expanded. We can study white businesses all day long. And we know how Ford murdered tons of people to get to where he is. We know how Carnegie murdered tons of people to get where they are. We can't be out here murdering people to build our economies, right?
No.
So those days are over.
Yeah.
Right. So we can study the best of them, but we know how many of them got there. They got there through slavery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to hear the story of my Black entrepreneurs, whether they're small, right? We call them solopreneurs, the mom and pops, as well as the big boys out here on the block. I love to hear their story and their authentic story.
Yep.
That's the important. Don't tell me, I'm pulling in 100,000 a week now and da 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 da. Yeah, no. Tell me the horror story.
Yep.
Tell me how you got to that point.
Tell me when you were eating the sardine can.
Yes.
Eating out of the sardine cans for about 3 or 4 months.
Absolutely. The decision that you made that tanked it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the story I want to hear.
Right.
And then tell me this is where I am today.
Right.
So yeah, man, I think we can do it. We got to build our own ecosystem, though.
Man, I appreciate you inviting me on. I hope
Absolutely.
You let me come back. I hope y'all enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm closing out this.
He closing the show. He said he done. So that's how you know you comfortable when you can come on my show and be like, I'm done. I ain't playing with you no more.
I'm hungry, man, but I know I'm not supposed to be eating this.
All I got is pound cake.
Hey, see how that pound cake? Lou baked it for me, and
I ain't sharing.
I gave you 3 pieces now.
You heard what I just said.
I'm gonna tell Tia and Maria.
Oh, they just saw it. Look, I ain't sharing.
Listen, I just wanted to tell you guys, I have a deep, deep love and admiration for Miguel Hampton. He's a great brother. He's a very selfless giver. He's an entrepreneur par excellence because he's continuing to remake himself, continuing to evolve. And I pray that you all will continue to support him. And the next time he's podding, is that right? Podcasting?
Well, podcasting. Right now we live streaming.
Live streaming or whatever. You know what? Call your friends and your neighbors and whatnot and have them to get on.
Yeah. Keep sharing, keep rocking with me.
Yeah.
Y'all can check us out on Facebook at Common Convo.
I'm gonna learn how to talk like you young people. Keep sharing, keep rocking with him.
Yeah. I can't say the other words because y'all, the man is sitting with me. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but like I fucks with y'all, so y'all fucks with me. Let's go. You know what I mean?
and I'm here to love on all of you.
So I let him out the bag. You know what I mean? So yeah, if y'all want to make donations, definitely you go to my PayPal me/F5ENT. Keep this bad boy running. Yo, this is Common Conversations. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We got an Instagram now. I'm about to find a hack so we can go live on IG as well. We go live every Wednesday at 7:00. And then I chop these up and I throw them on.